Hi friends, my name's Hannah and welcome back to another video. Today, settle down with a cup of tea. I've got one right here in my Eeyore mug because it's got a coaster attached to it. Because we are going to be talking about Lego sets that I wish existed. I should probably clarify and say Disney Lego sets I wish existed. So one of my favourite YouTubers, Holly on Film, recently did a video about different Lego sets from Harry Potter, I believe, that she wished existed, and I really want to do one for Disney and Harry Potter, so I do have a Harry Potter one coming soon. But today I thought I would talk about different Disney Lego sets I wish existed. Now the first one that I want to talk about already actually exists in another form, and it is this castle, but the Disneyland Paris one. So we have the Walt Disney World 50th, we also have the giant Disney castle, which I would pick up. I'm going to pick it up. This one. But I feel like Disneyland Paris does not get enough, you know, merchandise or interest. And I do feel like Disneyland Paris deserves more, you know, and I feel like a really good place to start would be having a Disneyland Paris. You know, it's just been the 30th anniversary. This was made for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World, and Paris has had the 30th anniversary in the same year and has not received anything. So sorry, I don't want this to be a rant, but I do really want there to be a mini Disneyland Paris. It's a Sleeping Beauty castle. You could have the little Maleficent dragon. It would be so cool. It really needs to be made. Please, Lego, I'm putting this out into the universe. Make a Disneyland Paris, please. The second Disney Lego set I wish existed is Main Street. Now I don't mind sort of what Disney park this is because it's pretty similar all over the world, but a Main Street would be so cool. I think, you know, after seeing Diagon Alley and how cool that is, a Main Street would be amazing. You could have all the shops and, you know, all of the little like quirks that they've put into Disney. I also think, you know, they're having the bandstand would be really cool in Disney, and you know, you could even do it to the same scale as the Disney castle. So people have obviously mocked it, but you could then have like an actual Main Street going up to the Disney castle. How cool would that be? I do think that one would be really expensive unless you had a mini one, so you could do it to this scale or the scale of the big castle, which I'm not going to pick up again, but I do think either way it would be really cool. I just think like Disneyland needs more rep, you know. Now my third one is Big Thunder Mountain. This is such an iconic ride. It's so cool. And I just feel like, although it might be a little bit boring and repetitive to make, it could then even be motorized and actually work as a roller coaster, because the train goes, you know, up and down and around and through, and you have like the goats and you have the different like huts and stuff. Big Thunder Mountain is such a cool ride. It's always, you know, the queues are always mentally long for this because it's so popular, and I just feel like Lego and Disney could capitalize on that popularity and turn it into a Lego set. It doesn't have to be a big one. It could be, again, this castle, it could be this size, or it could be like an actual big one like the Lego roller coaster. But I do think Big Thunder Mountain would be such a cool Lego set. It would be so cool. And I would love to see how Lego translates the sort of like jaggedness of the mountain into Lego, because I do think it would be quite fun to do. Again, like I said, like quite repetitive maybe to build it, but not if you've got like a train going through the middle, because you'd have to like build around it, and I just think that would be such a fun Lego set. Now next up, we're moving away from the actual parks that we can visit, and I've only got one for this because I could do a whole video on different places from Disney films that Lego could make. Like the Aristocats house could be really cool. They've already got the Winnie the Pooh tree, but I do think there could be some more Winnie the Pooh sets. You know, you could do so many, like Pride Rock from the Lion King, for example. But one that I do think would be really cool is Peter Pan's Island. Now this is such an iconic Disney film. I mean, Peter Pan is featured everywhere. Tinkerbell, we get a minifigure in the giant Disney castle. Like, it's such an important film, which I think people overlook quite a lot. And Jay and Barry, you know, donated to like children's charities, so I do think Disney could sort of carry on that legacy. But Peter Pan's Island would be so cool. There's so many different parts of it. You have like Tiger Lily's place, you have the mermaids, you have the Lost Boys area. You know, obviously we'd have to go for the Disney film, not for the actual play, because that's dark. But I do think it would be so cool to have Peter Pan's Island. You could even have like as a separate one altogether Hook's ship, where Captain Hook and obviously Peter Pan fight. I think that would be so cool. So much playability as well as collectability, and really, like, you know, playing into the heartstrings of those now adult Disney lovers who love Peter Pan as a child and want something to remember it by. fifth one is going back to Disneyland Paris for my personal favourite ride, because I couldn't do this video without putting in my favourite ride, which is the Carrousel de Lancelot. And it's just the carousel, which Lego have made before, but it's so cool. And you could have like the sword in the stone, which has, you know, sort of become a little bit TikTok famous with people pulling it out and not pulling out, and sort of like trying to discover the secrets of how to get the sword in the stone out. And I just think that would be so cool to have that carousel. It would fit in really nicely if they made the Disneyland Paris Castle, which was my first suggestion. And I just think it would be so fun, you know, especially if it worked, or if like you like wound it up, or if it played music. Oh, my dream Lego sets. I'm sad these are not a reality. My final Disney Lego set. I feel like I could drag this video on forever and ever, but the final one is the Tower of Terror. Now this is such a classic ride. I know obviously it's been changed into the Guardians ride in, I don't know if it's Florida or California. I think it's Florida. It's been changed into the Guardians of the Galaxy, which I think is a bit of a shame because the Tower of Terror is so iconic, but Tower of Terror is everywhere, and the merchandise for it is continuing to grow. So I feel like turning it into a Lego set is the natural next step. Like, you know, come on, it could move, it could like drop. Equally, it could just be like a model. It could, where's my Haunted Mansion? It could be in the same style as the Haunted Mansion, which again I need to build, story of my life, but it could be in this sort of style where you have some little bits of the interior. So you could, like, for example, have the interior of the lift, but it doesn't have to be like massive. I'm not saying like it needs to be a massive set, because I do feel like a lot of these would really fit this sort of scale. I think that would be such a cool idea. And imagine like going into a Lego store and having like every ride that you could choose from. That would be so cool. Or like being able to create your own Disneyland out of Lego. Like, I know people have mocked it, but having the sets I just feel is quite accessible and a really good starting point for a lot of people who, you know, look at a Lego city and think that is a massive undertaking. But if you have sets that you can put in, that would really help. And I just wish that some of these existed. But there we go, that is it for the Disney sets that I wish existed. Let me know in the comments what Disney set you wish existed, because I'm sure we all have one that we could think that we wish we could have in our hands and build. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As I said, I've got Harry Potter Lego sets I wish existed coming soon, and, you know, just lots of Lego and Disney fun to come as we go forwards with our Vlogmas. Exciting! It's so close to Christmas. Getting the tingle, nearly there. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you soon for a new video. Bye!